The Ohio High School Athletic Association is committed to developing well-rounded student athletes.
To support our continued education, the OHSAA and its foundation award more than 50 scholarships annually, totaling over $50,000 to graduating student athletes.
In addition, the OHSAA Foundation hosts leadership conferences around the state, where student athletes participate in sessions on group dynamics, role modeling, positive sporting conduct, and much more.
So don't sit on the sideline. Get involved.
I hit people and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brecksville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
My name is Jeff Foreman, play for Mentor Basketball. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Good evening, sports fans. OhioSportsNet is on the air from Garfield Heights High School. It is the Garfield Heights Bulldogs, 14-4, one loss in the Northeast Ohio Conference, taking on the top-seeded number 1 in the region, number 3 in the state, Mentor Cardinals, 17-1, undefeated in the Northeast Ohio Conference. Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Goodwin, joined by Keith Allen.
Good evening, all sports fans. How you all doing?
Keith Allen doing the double duty tonight, cameraman, a la color commentator, showing all his skills off.
Hey, be prepared for a great game tonight.
Absolutely. We got two great teams. The first matchup between these two teams a month ago in Mentor, the Cardinals came out with a 73-63 victory, and Justin Fritz, one of the top players in the area, if not the state.
44 points.
Wow. Yeah, he averages 28.5, and he had that in the third quarter.
Had 44 from all types of ways, from drives, three-pointers, free throws, did it all.
Yes, he did. He was a perfect 10 for 10 from the line in the fourth quarter in that game.
That was very huge.
Yeah, he's a 90% free throw shooter on the year. Well, earlier this week, Keith, we're going to talk about both teams, but I want to hear first from the Mentor Cardinals. I had a chance to sit down and talk with Justin Fritz, Jeff Foreman, a pair of the top players on the team, and Coach Krasancic, and we talked about this big matchup coming up against the Bulldogs.
How big is this game for the Cardinals against Garfield?
It's huge. It's become a rivalry since the regionals. There's a lot riding on it. NLC championship, first time in the league this year, trying to make our place with all these new teams. It's a big team. It's a big name throughout the state, so we're just trying to go out and get the W.
It's their senior night, conference on the line, going to be a packed house. They got revenge on their minds from the first matchup. Can you pour anything more into this?
It's going to be a great atmosphere. There's going to be a lot of people there. Been looking forward to this game all year, especially after the first game at our place. We took it. They're going to be, you're right, looking to come at us hard with their seniors on their last time on that floor. So we're going to have to come ready to play.
You guys are on a roll. Only one loss. The winning streak going. Keep overcoming adversity. Player goes down, another player steps up. Another player goes down, another player steps. Now Brandon's nicked up. How do you guys do it?
Well, Coach K always talks about how deep of a bench we've got to have. Everybody we put on the floor has to produce. Everybody has to step up. We've all got a role. We've all got something to fulfill. And when we lose one guy, we've got another guy coming off the bench trying to do just as well, maybe better than him. We're all fighting for the same thing. So we're all just going out playing hard and picking up whoever fell behind.
If you can give me a key to victory against Garfield, what would it be?
Definitely on the boards. Without Brandon, another big gone. He probably had 8 to 12 boards last game, so we've got to come out, hustle. More than anything, wear down their big men. Got to beat them on the board. It's going to be a really tough game. Toughness factor is going to be huge.
Give me a prediction for the game.
Ooh, want to get it in the 80s maybe, so I want to say 85-72. Better.
You guys undefeated in the conference. You're kind of flying high, only one loss on the year. What is it you guys look to get out of this game against Garfield?
We just look to get better. We take it game by game. We're not looking ahead. Especially this Friday. It's going to be a big game. And I know the place is going to be pretty crazy, but we're looking forward to getting better this Friday night.
How's it been, this run for you guys this year?
It's been great so far, but playoffs haven't even started. So, our dream is to get down to the States and win it this year. But I'd say as of right now, everything's going pretty well.
First game against Garfield, you had a huge game, 44 points. What do you think sparked for you that game that you were just on hitting all cylinders?
Probably just motivation to play well, motivation to beat them after what happened last year. But we're over that. And this game, I'm just looking to do the same thing. There's no reason why I can't do the same thing.
Think there's a bullseye on you?
Definitely. I hope there's a bullseye on us. But we like that. We like pressure.
How about you individually, bullseye?
I'm sure there's probably a little bullseye on me.
Because talking with some of the Garfield players, they're focusing on no more 44 points this time around for Justin Fritz.
Mm-hmm. Well, all I'm cared about is a W, and score 5 points, 15, 44 doesn't matter as long as we get that W and we get better that day.
How about your health is coming back too? Caleb's back, Danny's back from his injury. Is that helping you guys at the right time?
Oh, definitely. Especially key players like that. My brother just sprained his ankle in practice. I don't know if he's gonna be able to go tomorrow, but we got everybody back except for him, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this team.
What's going to be a key to victory against Garfield?
Just playing hard for 32 minutes. Teams could play with us for about 10, 12 minutes, but as it gets into the later quarters, I think teams start to wear out.
Why is that?
I don't think they condition as hard as we do. And they could prepare for us for a week, but we've been preparing since June and July and August. So,
if some strange thing in the cosmos happened where Menor played Menor, how do you think that would play out?
I think it would be like us playing St. Ed's. I think they play just like us, up-style game. And I don't know how they did. It would be there'd be a lot of possessions, I can tell you that.
Give me a prediction for the Garfield game.
I'll give you a prediction this time. I'm saying Menor 88, Garfield 77.
Second time around against Garfield, how big is this game for the Cardinals?
Huge. There's a lot of things riding on. Number one, pride, I would say. Ending a great season, going to the tournament with a lot of confidence. Probably playing without Brandon Fritz for most of the game or all of the game. He had a little ankle injury. So I like that because other people have to step up. There's a few tournament offers, possibly next year in 2 years. If you can end well in that, max preps and a few other ones. So I think for us, a lot is riding, but mainly I think the confidence factor and beating a really good team in your league twice and winning the league outright.
How about a lot of things that are building up to this game? It's their senior night, conference is on the line, it's going to be a packed house, revenge on their minds. Can you pour anything more into that?
No, and that's what you want. You want that type of atmosphere going to the tournament because you play in the district final, if you get to play in the regionals, the crowds, everything's riding on that one game, maybe a little bit more so. But in February, you want that type of atmosphere and kind of intensity that a lot is riding. So it's a win-win situation for, I think, both teams.
Talking with you and the boys throughout the year, one of the big mantras you always say is you want to get better, you want to get better. You've been on a roll and you haven't lost. How much better can this team get?
The nice thing is we're young, and we talk about the sophomores improving, the juniors improving. Danny still has some college offers, and the better he plays and the further that we go in a tournament, the better it is for Danny and even like Kyle Morris and the other things. So we have a lot, to push us. In the last couple of weeks, and the main theme has been improving every week. I don't think we played well early. We got not a late start, but getting football players, getting Justin back, in beginning of December. We were behind a few weeks, so we thought that we'd be a few weeks later than most teams as far as peaking, playing well, and with all the injuries. I think after we get Brandon healthy, hopefully that we'll have a complete team for the first time since December. So, it's again, when you're dealing with young kids, and I think some sophomores that are getting better every game, some juniors, our bench has had a great opportunity to play because of the injuries. So I think we're even deeper now than we were at the beginning of the year.
First time around, Justin put 44 up against the Bulldogs. You think they're going to be bullseye on him?
I do, and we were just talking about, we have 5 guys averaging in double figures, a lot around that 10 and 11. In Brandon, if he has a couple good games, we'd have actually 6 in double figures. So I think with Foreman scoring 20 the last 2 out of 3 games, Mitch Trubisky's had some 23 and 17 games. Connor had a string of 17, 15. So you're getting those guys in the last 4 or 5 games that are capable of scoring. So I think they're definitely going to key on Justin. I would. But the good thing is, if they do, I think the other people, are turning into more like players instead of the role players they were early.
How important is a trademark Cardinal start, like you guys have done against certain teams, especially against Brush? You jumped on them early with the press and hitting threes and getting a big lead early.
It's huge, but we've only done that the brush game in about the last 5, 6, 7. We've been stagnant, we've been slow, and that's what we've addressed that. I mean, we're down 10-2 and 18-8 the other night against Elyria. You know, Kenston's a 12-10 game with a couple minutes to go in the first, and then we make our run. But if we could start that way, then it's even better. So, you know, the start is huge because the brush out of the last 7, 8 has been the only one that we've, you know, come out and hit some and really taken it to them. So, I know we keep telling them against a really good team like Garfield, you get down 8-10 early, it's going to take longer to catch up. And, you know, you might not be able to put a team like that away. So, again, I think it's a great game for us to play in, game 19, right, you know, before we go into the tournament.
If you could pick one key to victory, what would it be?
Tempo, I think, because in tempo we get better shots in transition. We board a little better. Last time I think we outboarded them, which is unusual because of a transition game. So even early, if we're down, as long as I think both teams are running and we're getting shots in transition, that bodes well for us. You know, if it's a low-scoring game and fewer possessions, then I think it's definitely Garfield's advantage.
Coach, give me a prediction for the game.
Well, I did this before, didn't I? Okay, let's go, because my players might see this. I'll go 80-72 Menor.
That was head coach Bob Krasancic, along with Jeff Foreman and Justin Fritz, the do-it-all player for the Menor Cardinals, leading scorer, averaging almost 28 points a game. They touched on some of the keys to the game, Keith. The Cardinals, 10-point win the first time, undefeated in the conference. What do the Cardinals need to do to come out with another victory here and put themselves in the driver's seat for the Valley Division Conference title?
Well, tonight, you know, Garfield is going to be pumped up tonight because it's senior night, and it's their last game here. So they're going to have to weather the storm early because Garfield going to come at them with all they got, especially since Menor defeated them last time. Also, Menor is definitely going to have to dictate the tempo. They're going to have to keep it up tempo. Even though Garfield has the size advantage, Menor has the better advantage as far as an up-tempo game. If the score is around like 75, 70 up to 80, Menor should be in good shape. But if the score is down in the 60s to the 50s, it might be a Garfield type of game. Also, Menor is going to have to hit the boards since their center, Brandon Fritz, 6'4" sophomore Brandon Fitz isn't playing today due to an ankle injury. So Menor is going to hit the boards as a team. No matter who's in there, they all got to hit the boards.
That's the big one. You said just Brandon Fritz. Right. Ankle injury on Sunday. Yes. He's questionable. Coach kind of joked around with some of the boys. If Brandon's in the game tonight, that means they're doing something wrong.
Right. Right. If he gets in the game tonight, they might be in trouble.
Let's go to the other side of the board. The Bulldogs, 14-4. Coach Sonny Johnson, he's got them playing very well.
Yes, he
They're
does.
right there, just the one loss in the Valley Division here, and it came to the Cardinals. But if the Bulldogs can pull out the victory here tonight, senior night, revenge night, everything on the line, the conference.
And everything's electric
There's a big whole enchilada here for the Bulldogs tonight.
Exactly.
They pull out the victory. They're right there going for the Valley Division conference.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, their keys to winning tonight is they have to use their size advantage as a strength, especially since Brandon Fritz is not in the game, technically not playing right now. They have to use their size advantage. And two, what happened to them in the last game when they played Menor, they have to stay out of foul trouble. Last game against Menor, 3 of their starters was in foul trouble and 2 fouled out. And 3, they have to get the big guys in the game, Tony Farmer and Jermaine Davis. They have to make things happen inside. They have to get the big guys in the game. And then 4, Garfield has to slow the game up and control the tempo. If the game is in the 50s or 60s, it's much to Garfield's advantage. But if the game gets past the 60s, that's Menor all the way. That's Menor's range right there.
Yeah, and the other thing, Garfield likes to play up tempo. They have the horses to do it, but do you want to do it against Menor?
Exactly. It's one of those darned if you do, darned if you don't, basically.
Well, you touched on the Bulldogs, what they like to use the size. They're bigs, really. Tony Farmer is the big man, the junior.
Yes.
21 points, 13 rebounds, almost 70% from the floor, nearly 38% from 3, but also Mike Davis. They got a nice 1-2 punch. Davis on the perimeter, almost 20 points a game for Mike Davis, 74% from the line, and a 40% three-point shooter as well.
Right, but they have to get something definitely out of center Jermaine Davis, who's averaging 8 points a game and 4 rebounds a game.
Jermaine Davis, he almost looks like a tight end out there. He's 6'9", 270 pounds.
Right.
And Coach Johnson, he kind of says sometimes Jermaine doesn't quite use his size to his advantage.
He's going to have to use it tonight. He's definitely going to use it tonight. And then also off the bench, Garfield Heights got 2 scorers. Brett Thomas, a 6'2" senior, averaging 8 points a game. And also Marquise Jackson, who's a 5'11" senior, averaging 9 points a game and shoots 80% from the line and 45% from the 3.
Yeah, he's a sniper that comes in off the bench.
Yes, he is.
We're going to hear at halftime from a couple of the Garfield players. I talked with Tony Farmer, Terrell Bird, and Mike Davis, and I kind of joked around with Terrell and Mike, and I said, hey, is Fritz going to go for 44 again? And they shot some daggers at me. They said, no, we're going to lock him down. Each one of them said they're going to lock him down. So it'll be interesting to see who covers Justin Fritz in this game.
Most definitely. I think they're going to probably cover him by committee, basically. Any guard that's on deck.
Or do you think of double teaming? Granted, the Cardinals have plenty of players. It's not just Justin Fritz. So you really can't do away with the double team.
I think I have to make everybody else beat.
Because
they tried the other way the last time, and Justin went off for 44.
Right, but that's a scary thought because you got Danny Wallach, 11.5 points a game, and he shoots almost perfect from the free throw line. Mitch Trubisky, he's been coming on lately, a couple 20-point games, almost 10 points a game. He's a dangerous three-point shooter, along with Connor Krasancic, who averages 10 points a game, and he's a deadly three-point shooter as well. So there's 3 snipers right there that surround the arc that they also like to dribble penetrate. That's the stigma with Mentor, too. People think, oh, they just chuck threes. If you look, some of their games...
They don't really chuck threes all that often.
No. I mean, on the year, granted, they have taken a lot of shots from three-point range. They've attempted 586 threes, hit 215 of them, but 586 threes, 1,204 total shots on the year. That is a lot of shots in 18 games.
Right.
Maybe that's why you average 87 points a game.
Exactly. If the game is in the 80s, it's more in Mentor's favor. But if the game stays in the 60s on down, it'll be more in Garfield's favor.
Well, interesting. We're also going to hear at halftime from Coach Sonny Johnson. He predicts a track meet, and he has Garfield on the right end. So, Coach Johnson,
see what happens.
Yeah, Coach Johnson, maybe he's thinking, hey, that's the only way to beat him. Outrun him, if that's possible.
Outrun him. But they're going to have to stay out of foul trouble this time.
We heard Justin Fritz say, he's like, some teams can keep up with us for 1 or 2 quarters, but nobody can stand our pace.
It's kind of like, you remember back when Phoenix, when Mike D'Antoni had his offense, it'd be all good in the first half, and then in the second half, Phoenix's stamina just ultimately wears you down.
Yeah, and an interesting point, the first time these two teams played, I was at Garfield's practice, and Coach Johnson, practicing for the press and the trap, he would play 5 versus 8.
Right, I remember you saying that.
That's an interesting way to look at it. If you can be 5 versus 8, you're pretty sure it could be 5 versus 5, can't you?
Exactly. So we just see if it can make it. They can make it happen.
All right. Well, we're gonna step aside for a minute. We're still here in the pregame from Garfield Heights. Kyle Goodwin and Keith Allen, alongside Demetrius Hudson and William Cummings, bringing you all the pictures. Technical director. We're going to be back to Garfield for the tip-off from the Dog Pound, Garfield Heights, and the Mentor Cardinals. Northeast Ohio Conference Valley Division game. Championship on the line if the Cardinals can pull it out tonight. We'll be back from Garfield after this.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is committed to developing well-rounded student athletes.
To support our continued education, the OHSAA and its foundation award more than 50 scholarships annually, totaling over $50,000 to graduating student athletes.
In addition, the OhSAA Foundation hosts leadership conferences around the state where student athletes participate in sessions on group dynamics, role modeling, positive sporting conduct, and much more.
So don't sit on the sidelines. Get involved.
I hit people and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brecksville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
Next we have Angela Leota, escorted by Frank.
We are still moments away from tip-off here from Garfield. Kyle Goodwin alongside Keith Allen, William Cummings, technical director, Demetrius Hudson on the cameras, and Jaquise Davis helping us out, producing and statistician tonight. We are still moments away from tip, and let's meet the starting lineups first. Let's meet the Mentor Cardinals.
I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals.
I'm Justin Fritz. I'm a senior, and I'm a guard at Menor High School.
I'm Connor Krasancic. I'm a sophomore guard from Menor High School. Mitch Trubisky. I'm a junior guard for the Menor Cardinals.
My name's Jeff Foreman, play for Menor basketball.
I'm Brandon Fritz, sophomore center for Menor High School.
I'm Brody Nelson, and I'm a junior guard for Menor basketball.
Brandon Pick, senior guard for Menor High School.
Kyle Morris, senior forward, Menor High School.
Mike Gallagher, junior forward, Menor basketball.
Jake Leonard, senior forward, Menor basketball.
Kent Berger, sophomore center, Menor basketball.
Caleb Potter, sophomore forward, Menor basketball.
Cade McClure, sophomore guard, Menor High.
Senior night here at Garfield. Let's meet the starters.
Garfield High School.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights.
What's up? This is Kenny Simpson, senior guard from Garfield Heights.
Jermaine Davis, Garfield Heights. I'm a senior, and I play center.
Tony Farmer, junior forward.
I'm Marquise Jackson. I'm a senior guard from Garfield Heights.
Kyle Sturgis, freshman guard from Garfield Heights.
Richard Parker, junior guard at Garfield Heights High School.
Brett Thomas from Garfield Heights High School, senior guard.
I am David Wright. I play for Garfield Heights. I am 11th grader. I'm power forward.
I'm Brian Cox, sophomore guard, Garfield Heights.
Milo Bird, sophomore guard at Garfield Heights.
I'm Jerron Campbell from Garfield Heights. I'm a sophomore forward.
I'm Tyler McConaughey, junior center from Garfield Heights.
Dave Bell, sophomore center from Garfield Heights.
Michael Brown, junior, small forward from Garfield Heights.
Next we have Mike Davis, escorted by Antoine Spicer.
The seniors from the Bulldogs are getting their acknowledgement along with their folks here from the Dog Pound.
Yes,
Keith.
last game.
All right, Keith, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a prediction for tonight's game between the Bulldogs and the Cardinals.
I think that's a tricky question. It's going to be a close game. I'll say Menor pulls it out 72-65.
How much was that again?
72-65.
72-65. You say Menor. I love the Bulldogs. I love Coach Johnson. They're one of my favorite teams to cover. And I was talking with PD writer Tim Rogers before the game. He's like, have you seen any team better than Menor this year? And I have not.
I haven't
it's just
either.
The depth, the pace, the tempo, the speed,
yes.
Everything about them. And it helps when you got players that are clicking on all cylinders.
Right.
And that's what the Cardinals have been doing. It doesn't matter. They have a player nicked up, another player fills in the slack. They've had a player constantly hurt all year long.
Exactly.
Caleb Potter was hurt. Danny Wallach was hurt. Jeff Foreman was hurt. And now Brandon Fritz is hurt. Another player steps in, and they don't miss a beat. And I think Brandon Fritz being out tonight, it might be smart just to let him rest for the tournament. And I'm going to have to agree with you. I think the Cardinals are going to pull it out, too. I think it's going to be a little bit more high scoring. I think Garfield's going to get into a track meet with them. This game is going to be in the 80s. I say about 85-81 Menor.
85-81.
They might pull it out at the free throw line late in the game.
So let me ask you this. How many points you think Fritz is going to score tonight?
Honestly, you want to know what? I think he's going to have double-digit assists because they're going to be keying on him, and he's going to find his teammates. Right. He'll go for 15 or 20 maybe, but I see Mitch Trubisky, Connor Krasancic, Danny Wallach, Jeff Foreman, some of those players stepping up, hitting some threes, driving to the basket. That's going to be the difference for Menor tonight.
And the one thing I do expect Tony Farmer to have a better game this time against Menor than he did the first game when he had 12 points and he was saddled by foul trouble. And also Mike Davis is going to probably put in well as well. He's going to score probably 20 plus. But they really need a big game from their center, Jermaine Davis. He has to bring it tonight.
All right, Keith, we're going to step aside as the national anthem plays. We're going to be back for the tip-off. Garfield, Menor on OhioSportsNet after this.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is committed to developing well-rounded student athletes.
To support our continued education, the OHSAA and its foundation award more than 50 scholarships annually, totaling over $50,000 to graduating student athletes.
In addition, the OHSAA Foundation hosts leadership conferences around the state where student athletes participate in sessions on group dynamics, role modeling, positive sporting conduct, and much more.
So don't sit on the sideline. Get involved.
Hey, this is Sonny Johnson from the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
I'm Coach K. Everybody calls me that. Menor High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I hit people, and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brecksville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
Mitch Trubisky, I'm a junior guard for the Menor Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I'm Mike Davis, senior guard from Garfield High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Justin Fritz. I play for Menor Basketball, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, this is Tony Farmer from Garfield High School, boys basketball. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
The officials are Rob Walgate, Jim Dayton, and Chris Behringer. Their experience and integrity qualify them for their important part in this friendly interscholastic contest. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and join us in the singing of our national anthem. Singing our last home game of the evening gives me great pride and pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Zion Burgers. Listen to him, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Keith, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will.
It's time to play ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to get it in.
Both teams are still ready. We're going to do some starting in lineups here again. Well, let's go through them ourselves as the PA announcer here goes over them. Starting for the Menor Cardinals, Connor Krasancic, along with Mitch Trubisky, Danny Wallach, Justin Fritz, and Jeff Foreman are the starting five. Brandon Fritz, the center, 6'4" center, sophomore, normally starts but nicked up with an ankle injury. We're going to have to see how much playing time he gets. Go to the other side for the Garfield Heights Bulldogs. A pair of seniors, Terrell Bird and Kenny Simpson in the backcourt, along with senior Mike Davis. And Jermaine Davis, a big 6'9" senior, along with junior Tony Farmer, the 6'7", is in the front court. And you touched on it in the onset. It's going to be the size of Garfield. Can they take advantage of it? I saw Garfield play St. Ed's earlier this year. They jumped on the Eagles 15-2. They did it running, but they also did it getting the ball down into the block.
And that's what they have to do to start it off tonight. Because if you don't get them in the game early, that's when foul trouble and inactiveness sets in. So they have to get the big men involved early and often.
And how about this? This is a packed house.
Yes,
it is. The dog pound is full. Really, if you're coming here late, like right before tip-off, you might have to be in the standing room only.
Right.
Exactly. A lot of the Menor people showed up here early in the JV game.
Yes.
So they got their seats early. A good crowd here on hand for both.
Yes. So we'll see
we touched on the best players. We touched on the keys. If you were to pick one thing from both teams, all right, first let's start with Garfield, the home team. If you're Coach Sonny Johnson, what's the one thing you want to see to help get a victory tonight?
I want to see our bigs play well, and I don't want to see no foul trouble. Gotta get Tony Farmer in the game because he was basically didn't play half the game last time when they faced Menor the first time due to foul trouble. Also, point guard Terrell Bird was in foul trouble also, along with senior guard Mike Davis. So the key tonight is stay out of foul trouble and get Jermaine Davis and Tony Farmer off early and often. Because I think if you get the ball down to Jermaine Davis and he can do something, I think he'll be productive, very productive.
I think we both agree on that. It's the bigs for Garfield. Control some of the tempo. Run when you can, but under control. And Menor, it's foot on the gas.
Menor, foot on the gas pedal, full throttle.
Well, Menor is in their road red with their silver and white trim and white numerals. Garfield in their home white with gold numerals and navy trim. The Dog Pound's ready to go, and we are set, ready to go.
It's like state tournament atmosphere here.
It is. This is playoff
it's no
atmosphere.
Better than this.
Well, the conference is on the line. It's senior night, everything, and you got to love it. When Menor was announced, the student section all held up newspapers.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. They all bring the trash can over and throw the newspapers away. Like, they're very good and very clean student section.
Exactly.
Now it's time for them to get rowdy. We're ready to go. Foreman and Farmer to jump and tip it up. Comes into the backcourt, and Simpson will control. Garfield moving from left to right will have the ball to start.
Yes, Terrell Bird has it. Gets it to Tony Farmer.
Farmer gets it down low, and a nice high low from Jermaine Davis. 2-0 Garfield.
That was a good pass inside.
Absolutely, and right away, you talked on the foul trouble. Jeff Foreman, he takes it to the hole, and he gets fouled. He's going to get 2 shots. Jermaine Davis, the big center, hit with that foul.
Well, that's a good one. At least he's being active right now and everything. So
Davis first, Menor first.
First one is good.
Foreman on the year, an 85% free throw shooter.
Yes. He's made some big shots, too, in past ball games.
And he had to sit out a couple games. He suffered a concussion in their first game against Elyria, and he's come back on fire, and he hits both free throws here. He's hit the 20-point mark several times in the last few games. Full court pressure by the Cardinals. Farmer beats the press up to Davis, finds Mike Davis. Silky smooth move to the hole, follows his own shot, back up and in by Mike Davis.
That was a good follow by Mike Davis.
Menor quickly into the front court. Foreman into the corner. Connor Krasancic, 3-ball, got it. 5-4 Menor early.
That's a good shot.
And Jeff Foreman basically playing the point guard for the Cardinals so far. Bird gets down to the baseline. And Danny Wallach forced him all the way to the baseline, and a tough pass by Bird, out of bounds, turnover.
And that's one thing they can't ill afford to have either is turnovers. Because Menor's going to keep putting their foot on the gas pedal.
That's what the Cardinals want to do. They want to force tempo and turnover. And Jeff Foreman again, muscling it all against Farmer. Ooh. Strong move, could not finish, and Davis pulls away the rebound, and Mike Davis looking to push. Bird, lock and load from 3, a little too strong. Backside rebound, Justin Fritz. His first touch on the ball. Ball around the perimeter, finds Krasancic. Another 3, 2 for 2. Connor Krasancic.
They're out and firing tonight.
The 3-ball is their friend.
It certainly is. And the more the other players contribute. Tony Farmer going to the hole.
Strong move. Nice spin move by Farmer, and it's funny, when he had the ball, the Cardinal faithful giving him the boo birds. 8-6, Menor with the lead. Both teams' offense is clicking so far. Foreman, nice little move to the hole, could not finish. He attacked the basket. Mike Davis answering back, kicks it to Farmer. Little jab step, over left side, Kenny Simpson for 3, got it. Garfield with a 9-8 lead. Fritz picks up his dribble. Fights it in on Bird, could not finish. No foul, and Bird with a rebound, look to push. Simpson back to Bird. Down low, Davis. Davis using the size, Jermaine Davis.
That's what I was talking about right there. Has to go to him early and often.
His first hoop, and 4 players already in the scorebook for the Bulldogs, an 11-8 Garfield lead. Foreman in the corner. Trubisky will fire a three. Off the iron.
Good.
No, Mike Davis with a good rebound. Looking to push. Nobody stopping him. Kicks it. Simpson, his second three ball. Off the iron. No. Good battle for the rebound. Going to go off the Bulldogs, and it's going to stay with Menor on the baseline as they're going to pull it out. Substitutions into the game. Marquise Jackson, Brett Thomas, along with David Wright, all in for the Bulldogs.
They're in for Tony Farmer.
Al Bird's going to check in, too. So wholesale subs as Kyle Morris checks in along with Caleb Potter for the Cardinals. 3 minutes into the contest, 3-point lead, and tough call here out on the perimeter. Terrell Bird, he mentioned that we're going to hear from him at halftime. He wants to check Fritz.
Them the fouls that you can't make. Them the fouls you can live without right there.
And that's a hustle play. You know, he's bodying him up.
Yeah.
Into the corner to Fritz. Now Brett Thomas on him. Justin Fritz gets a pick, skips it over. Potter fakes a three. In the corner, Krasancic finds Morris on the block, shuffled his feet, and it's a travel against Menor.
That was obvious right there. Sometimes you got to get it back out to the guards.
Early on, the tempo being controlled by the Bulldogs. They have a 3-point lead. Bird gets it to Thomas, who's going to fire a three. Off the iron, no. Jackson fighting for the rebound. Krasancic controls to Morris for the Cardinals.
Sometimes taking threes.
That's a tough call if you're a Bulldog fan. Looked like Bird got a lot of ball, but at 4:18 of the first quarter, Terrell Bird's going to get lit up with his second foul.
Second foul, and that's exactly what I was talking about, foul trouble.
He does average 4 steals on the year, but the referee doesn't think that was a steal there. Third foul on Garfield, second on Bird, so he's going to have a seat. Farmer and Simpson back in for the Bulldogs.
There they go.
Coach Krasancic touchdown. He wants to get the early lead, but they've been kind of stagnant lately in the early going.
Right.
Wallach shot off the iron, no. Jackson pulls away the rebound. All the way to the hole, off the rim, no. Battle for the rebound. Thomas got it, and Bulldogs will kick it back out.
They're controlling the tempo so far.
Farmer gets double teamed. Connor Krasancic gets his hand on the ball. And what do we got? I think the official's going to call a foul or going to call a jump ball. That's unfortunate. Good defense first by Kyle Morris to deny, and Krasancic looked like he got his hand on the ball, but the official calls a foul on Connor Krasancic, his first. Inbound comes in. Jackson, 16-footer. Off the iron, no. Good box out by Justin Fritz.
That's a pretty good shot. He just didn't get it down.
Fritz all the way to the hole, no. Good rebound and offensively put back up and in by Caleb Potter.
That was a good follow right there.
Cardinal fans wanted to walk, didn't get that call. Thomas with the left hand. A silky smooth move to the hole.
This is like a mano-a-mano, basically.
13-10. Wallach loses his dribble. Simpson all over him. Ball deflected off Simpson out of bounds. And Brandon Fritz is actually going to check into the game, the 3:11 mark here for the Menor Cardinals.
Okay.
Going to have to see how that ankle looks. It's his left ankle that he turned in Sunday's practice. Foreman also back in for the Cardinals. Mike Davis back in for the Bulldogs. Davis, tight defense on Potter.
First couple of minutes for Fritz being in the game is going to be crucial for him.
Jeff Foreman, a nice up and under move, could not finish though. And Simpson pulls away the rebound. We got a whistle and a foul down low, and Brandon Fritz might have just got lit up. Oh, a double technical. Oh, wow, that's a tough call if you're a Bulldog fan. Looked like definitely. Brandon Fritz got in the face of Tony Farmer, but the official calls a double T. The original foul going to go against Brandon Fritz.
That's more of a disadvantage for Garfield Heights.
It was. Brandon Fritz was muscling Tony Farmer down low. Got called for the foul, then they kind of chest bumped. Yes. And the official's going to light them both up with a T.
Sometimes in situations like that, sometimes you try to think the refs will look over it sometimes, especially if it's nothing serious.
Well, they always want to avoid the taunting, but And I actually saw that in the St. Ed's game. Similar play happened to Tony Farmer,
Yes.
where the defender fouled him, got in his face, and he got a double tag. It was almost the exact same play. He just kind of stood there. He didn't really advance at the player. Brandon Fritz didn't really make an advance, but they're kind of staring each other down right now. You know, and
they got technicals for the stare downs.
that's probably what it was. You know, they weren't allowed to play who can blink last.
Right. So now they both got to, well, Tony Farmer has to play smart.
Oh, Farmer took it to the hole. Jeff Foreman maybe got a little piece of him. Farmer could not finish, but he's going to get 2 free throws, and the Zebras are already on the ire of both teams' fans.
I think the Zebras is trying to keep control of the game tonight because both teams are pumped up. Menor wants to clinch the title of the conference, and Garfield wants to get even. Tony Farmer at the line. Shoots. Got it.
Farmer on the year is a 69% free throw shooter. Trubisky along with Morris back in, and Brandon Fritz going to have a quick seat as he got about 30 minutes of action, but that was some intense action.
He got some intense action. He got his money's worth.
Farmer hits both.
But you know
6
what?
points to lead the Bulldogs, and now a 5-point lead, biggest of the game for Garfield.
If you're Sonny Johnson right now, you're happy with what's going on so far because you're controlling the tempo and you've gotten your bigs involved tonight.
On top of the fact that they've denied Justin Fritz as well.
Yes.
Morris going to take a baseline, spins. He frees up some space, and a
good
nice
shot.
strong move by Kyle Morris. Kind of laid the shoulder right into the chest of Tony Farmer. Bulldogs beat the press. Simpson. Scoop pass to Davis, in and one. Mike Davis on a great feed from Kenny Simpson.
Good pass. Good pass and a good strong move by Mike Davis to the hole to make it N1.
You touched on in the onset, foul trouble is going to be an issue. We already have 9 total fouls in the game.
Exactly.
4 for Garfield, 5 for the Cardinals. 2:13 to go, first quarter.
Mike Davis at the line.
Davis, a very good free throw shooter. 74% on the year, 19.5 points a game he averages. Finishes a three-point play to give him 5 points.
And Garfield Heights has the early lead.
Garfield been doing a good job of beating the press and the traps. Turnovers haven't hurt him yet. Nice skip pass. Krasancic for a 3. Off the iron, no. Loose ball on the floor. Trubisky gets it out, gets it to Foreman. The ball falls off the rim, unfortunate. And Kenny Simpson going to go coast to coast. Ooh. No finish. Mike Davis with a miss. And Menor with a clear. And a tough pass in the backcourt. Miscommunication by the Cardinals. A turnover. Ball going to go back to Garfield. 1:44 to go.
Like I said, Menor right now just has to weather the storm because Garfield Heights is definitely going to give him their best shot early.
Oh, we touched on the turnover is usually an issue for Garfield.
It's been the other way around.
Yeah, Menor kind of looks a little off tonight.
Off kilter tonight.
Off the inbound, Simpson gets it into Mike Davis. Brett Thomas and Marquise Jackson checks back in for the Bulldogs. Caleb Potter back in for the Cardinals. Spin move by Farmer, throws it off the rim. Got a whistle and a foul though, and Tony Farmer going to go back to the line. Tony Farmer's been much more involved tonight than he was the last meeting and everything. He's been to the line. He's going to the line again. Mitch Trubisky, the 6'3 junior, QB1 for the Cardinals, called for that foul. His first, 6th on the Cardinals now with 1:34 to go in the first. Yeah. Ooh. Menor's racking up the fouls tonight. And Farmer now a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. 7 points to lead all scorers. Farmer's definitely keyed in tonight. Sophomore Al Burge into the game for the Bulldogs. And Farmer, perfect 4 for 4 from the line. And he's going to have a seat with his 8 points, leading all scorers as David Wright, the 6'2 junior, checks in. You got to wonder if Coach Krasancic's going to start dialing up some things for Justin Fritz to see if he can get him free. Now a zone being played for the Bulldogs. Almost kind of like a matchup zone. Yeah. They're keeping an eye on Fritz, though, throughout this. I guess they're saying if you're going to beat us tonight, Justin Fritz is not going to do it. Jeff Foreman To the hole and puts it in. 3 points now for Foreman and a strong move there.
But one thing I would say, if the other guys can continue to produce from in there and keep them within range, it's going to open it up more for Fritz down later on.
But it looks like they're spreading the court there, and they're opening up the lane right there. That lane was wide open for Jeff Foreman on the drive.
Sure was.
Final minute, first quarter, 6-point lead for the Bulldogs. Near steal by Fritz. Mike Davis will control, bring it back out between the circles. Looks like Garfield just going to work a weave and maybe hold for a final shot.
Yeah. Tempo is the difference.
Inside 25 seconds now. Davis very close to a carry there.
Yeah.
Very, very unfortunate for the Cardinal fans. Justin Fritz with tough defense.
Guess that's the one time the refs swallowed the whistles.
Now inside 10 seconds. Jackson finds Mike Davis. He'll pull up. Left wing three, got it! Nothing but net for Mike Davis. Cardinals gonna try and get a final shot. Justin Fritz gets it off. Nearly got it in after 1 quarter of play. All Bulldogs, 23-14. A great look found Mike Davis for that three.
Yes.
Davis with 8 points, along with Tony Farmer, 8 points in the first quarter. And Keith, we're going to keep it here. What did you see in that first quarter that worked for Garfield?
Just about what I expected. They got everybody involved, especially Tony Farmer, and even Jermaine Davis had some activity also, which opened it up for Mike Davis. Unfortunately, Terrell Bird got in foul trouble, but Mike Davis and Tony Farmer kept him afloat. And basically, on the other end for Menor, this is about probably where they probably expected, since this is senior night and Garfield was going to come out extra amped. And you figure you're only down by 9, but yet Justin Fritz hasn't scored no points.
Really, Justin's hardly touched the ball, if you think about it.
Right.
He's only attempted 1 shot so far, and it was an off-balance shot. He had to kind of force it.
Exactly.
So is that a case of Garfield paying close attention? Is it the defensive Garfield, or is it maybe Menor just hasn't found a way to free him yet?
I think it's a combination of both. And I think pretty soon he's going to probably switch up and probably go to some more screens to get him freed up.
That's the second time Menor not on the same page. They throw a pass, and one man's running away, and the ball just goes behind him out of bounds.
Then also,
Cardinals just look all out of sync tonight.
Right. They're starting off slow. They just got to weather the storm.
And Coach Bob Krasancic, he's laying into his team over on the sideline. Caleb Potter with a quick sub. Simpson down low. Farmer under the basket, a little too easy. His follow off the rim, no. 2 close ones for Tony Farmer, couldn't finish. Stays at a 9-point deficit for the Cardinals with the ball.
And the thing is, Garfield Heights has gotten almost everything they've wanted so far.
Trubisky a 3 off the iron, no. Simpson, he's got it quickly into the front court.
Garfield has dictated the tempo and got anything they wanted, basically.
Jermaine Davis just ran right over Mitch Trubisky and then completely missed the open shot. Trubisky's a football player, though. He can take a hit like that.
Exactly. He's getting himself prepared for the season, upcoming season.
First 3 by Fritz. Front iron, no. Jermaine Davis, a one-handed rebound, and he just swats it over to Simpson. That's another thing that Garfield mentioned, what's key and important, and Jeff Foreman even said it in the pregame, he rebounded. And it looks like Garfield, they're owning the glass so far.
So far. Because Menor beat him in the glass last game.
Down low to Farmer with the flush. What a great look to find Tony Farmer, and that's too easy for him under the basket.
Very. But with him down low, it's a mismatch.
11-point deficit. This is the biggest of the game. Justin Fritz down in the trees, and Davis blocks it away. 3-on-1. Lob, Mike Davis with the hammer. Woo. Danny Wallach, a deep 3, answers right back. Great look by Danny Wallach.
I guess Garfield Heights said they're going to go down firing. They're going to go do what they do best.
6 minutes to go, first half. 10-point lead for the Bulldogs. Bird slashes down the lane, loses his dribble, and a turnover. Man. Justin Fritz going to go all the way down. Simpson pokes it away from behind, out of bounds on the baseline. And substitutions coming in. Brett Thomas for the Bulldogs. Brandon Fritz Connor Krasancic and Brody Nelson for the Cardinals.
If you're Garfield Heights, you're happy with the way everything's going so far because they've gotten everything they've wanted offensively, definitely. But they basically had everybody in the ball game. Now, if you're Menor, you're looking at it with the glass half full because your leading scorer hasn't scored yet, but yet you're only down by 10. And Garfield Heights is playing real good considering, but it should be up probably by about 20.
Yeah, that's the case. It's really, you got to wonder, what can you do to get Justin Fritz involved?
Right.
He got an open look last time. That's really his first shot.
Yes.
He's been trying to take it to the hole, but he got it amongst the trees.
He kind of forced amongst the trees, but now you're seeing Brandon Fritz is taking it upon himself now to make things happen.
10-point lead off the inbound. Finds Fritz in the corner. His three, no good. And Mike Davis with the rebound for the Bulldogs. Down low to Brett Thomas. We got a whistle and a foul. Brandon Fritz along with Brody Nelson were there for the defense.
Yes.
And foul going to go against Nelson. His first, 7th team foul. So now for the final 5:40 of the first half, 10-point lead for Garfield. They're in the bonus.
Yes. Which is very tough for Menor right now. So if I was Garfield, I'll continue to punch it inside and keep racking up the fouls.
Thomas, a 74% free throw shooter, misses the first. Brandon Fritz with the rebound for the Cardinals. Look down low to Brandon Fritz. He's going to muscle his way in, but he called for a double dribble.
Ooh.
He's trying to say that a Garfield player tipped it, and it kind of looked like it did.
Looked like he tipped it.
Not to the Zebras, it didn't.
Hey. We'll probably see a makeup call a little bit later on.
Just kind of seems like everything is going Garfield's way and everything's going against Menor. Nice play there by Connor Krasancic, but falls right into the hand of Davis. Knifes down the lane, fouls his own shot up and in. Mike Davis with a great follow.
Well, Mike Davis is a player.
He has got some hops, too.
He doesn't get the recognition like Tony Farmer does, but he gets the job done.
Danny Wallach's second three. Trying to keep the Cardinals in the game, gets it back under 10 with 5 minutes to go in the half. Davis going to try and answer for a three. No good. Justin Fritz with the rebound.
Kind of an ill-advised shot.
Deep three by Justin Fritz. Front iron, no. Ball loose on the floor. We got a big rugby scrum under the basket, and finally a held ball called by the officials.
I think Justin's kind of forcing it a little bit. And he's seems like he's getting a little frustrated.
It does. It doesn't look like the game is coming to him, so he's trying to create in any way that he can. But that's the thing with Justin Fritz. He's not just a perimeter player. He's not just a slasher. He can do both.
Right.
But it seems like whatever he's tried hasn't quite worked yet. He hasn't really found his niche.
Exactly.
But think about
Menor
it.
is still within distance.
Yeah, you think about it. You know, he's struggling with the offense right now, and they're right there in the game,
They're
only
still
down 9.
right there in the game. So if you're Sonny Johnson.
But you can't leave Tony Farmer underneath the basket like that.
That was just too easy.
Wow, a great look by Brett Thomas. Farmer with another flush. Now 12 in the game for Farmer. 3 ball by Foreman, no good. Simpson with the rebound, looking to push. Up ahead, Farmer again with a hammer.
Ooh-wee. Farmer playing like a man possessed tonight.
Midway through the second quarter, just when it looked like Menor was getting back into it, down 9. Now the lead's back up to 13. Foreman looking for some space. Slides his way close to the hole, and he takes the contact, and Jeff Foreman will go to the line for 2.
Jeff Foreman's done that basically the whole game, basically.
Brett Thomas called for the foul, his first, 5th on the Bulldogs.
And I think all Menor has to do is stay within range to about the 10-point range for half, then go back and regroup, and somehow get Fritz back in the game, get Justin Fritz back in the game.
Trubisky and Potter will check in as Justin Fritz and Connor Krasancic will have a seat. Jeff Foreman on the year, an 85% free throw shooter, hits the first.
Now, since Justin Fritz is out of the game, do you think Garfield really should try to make a run to put it out, try to put it out of reach.
Well, you got to wonder what both teams are going to do right now with Fritz on the bench.
Yes.
Foreman with both free throws. Gives him now 5 in the game. 3 for 4 from the line. Simpson up ahead to Jackson. 3.5 to go first half. Mike Davis alone on the wing, finds Farmer. Spins under the basket, loses the dribble and falls down. Kicks it out. Simpson for a 3. Got it! Kenny Simpson's second 3 of the game. Lead back up to 14 for Garfield.
Garfield Heights looks like a totally different team from when the last time they was in Menor.
Good ball movement, gets it over. Trubisky fakes a 3, finds Brandon Fritz down on the block.
Good
and a nice under move by Brandon Fritz, gets his first deuce of the game.
Very good strong move by the sophomore.
Correction number 1, Brandon Fritz.
Farmer gets free under the basket. Potter does a good job, forces him all the way to the baseline and gets the turnover. Good defense by Caleb Potter.
Took a few too many steps.
That was a case of Potter just kind of got his body in there, forced Farmer into no man's land, and he was under the basket, had nowhere to go.
Made him go somewhere he didn't want to go.
Farmer will check out. Jermaine Davis checks back in for the Bulldogs. 2:52 to go in the half. And really the rebounding is being dominated by the Bulldogs.
Making
almost
that
4
size
to 1.
advantage be a strength.
Trubisky fires a 3 off the iron no. Mike Davis with a rebound. He finds Marquise Jackson, a deep 3 off the iron no. Potter couldn't control the rebound, out of bounds.
Menor is making some uncharacteristic mistakes tonight.
Yeah, they don't look like the Cardinals that we've seen all year long. It's like something was in the water almost, you know? Got to wonder, fly on the wall, Coach Krasancic at halftime. What's he going to be saying?
Might not be nice.
Justin Fritz checks back in. 2.5 to go. Down 12 are the Cardinals. Mike Davis gets into the lane, kicks it to Thomas, loses the dribble. Mitch Trubisky comes away with a turnover. Trubisky up ahead. Brandon Fritz gets down, kicks it out. Justin Fritz for a 3. Got it!
Uh-oh.
His first basket of the game with 2:12 to go in the half. And a steal by Brandon Fritz. All the way in, lays it up and in. 5 quick points by the Cardinals, and now they're down 7, and here come the Cardinal faithful.
Brandon Fritz is playing tough tonight with an ankle injury.
And a near steal again by Brandon Fritz in the backcourt. 1:44 to go in the half. Jackson down the lane, blocked by Brandon Fritz.
Oh,
loose ball comes to Davis, he can't finish, and Trubisky with a rebound for the Cardinals.
You got to finish those at 6'9".
Oh, but he answers right back with a block. Woo! Wallach a 3 in the air, no. Trubisky offensive rebound, and he gets fouled. You got to give Jermaine Davis credit. He missed the chippy, but he got back on D.
Yes, he did. A monstrous block shot. But you know where that comes from? They got him involved early, and he's been making his presence felt tonight. But if you're on the Menor side of the fence, you're happy with where you're at right now.
The Cardinal faithful during that little mini timeout for the substitutions are up on their feet, saluting their Cardinals, who are right back in it now. 1:26 to go, down 7.
And they haven't played particularly well at all.
Wide open is Justin Fritz off the inbound, and boy, they lost him there. 6 quick points, and now it's back to a 4-point game. Near steal off the inbound as Wright controls, poked away from behind by Justin Fritz. Fritz takes it right at Farmer, off the glass and in.
Good strong move by Justin Fritz.
I think Justin Fritz heard me, and he's laid up 8 quick points, and it's a 2-point game.
Hey, Kyle, I think
and Trubisky with a steal.
Good steal.
Justin Fritz all the way in, lays it up and in, we're tied.
Woo.
Timeout, Garfield with 51 seconds to go in the half, and Sonny Johnson is hot. What just happened to that 13-point lead?
Like a total collapse. Hey, Cal.
Somebody just lit a firecracker underneath Justin Fritz.
Justin Fritz scored 10 points in about a minute. In a minute's time.
Wow.
And like I said, Kyle, if you was in Mentor's position to only be down by 10 and your leading scorer hadn't scored yet, and your leading scorer just scored 10 just like that, and you're right back in the game.
And what he did was he triggered it with his defense.
Yes.
He got 2 good looks off of inbound plays with the threes, but then on his defense, he poked 2 balls away from behind.
Yes.
And once he got that ball in his hand, he was a freight train going to the basket.
The one thing that he did that I'm happy about is he didn't get down on himself. And he went to other assets of his game by playing defense.
If anything, he literally lit a fire underneath himself and said, what am I doing? Come on.
Right.
I'm a lot better than this. That's a credit to him. That just shows what great player he is.
Yes. Now we got to see what Garfield Heights has now.
Tie ball game, final 45 seconds, as the Cardinal defense has got him right back in this game. And woke the crowd up, too. Simpson, nice down the lane. Nice finger roll by Kenny Simpson.
Good move by Simpson.
8 points in the game, 5 in the quarter for Simpson. Final 28 seconds of the half. Who do you think is going to have the ball for the Cardinals?
The man right there, Justin Fritz.
Number 22. Good deny by Mike Davis. Forces Fritz to get rid of it. But he gets it right back.
Time.
Davis all over him. Morris setting the
double
screen.
team, okay.
Good flash out by Tony Farmer, and tough call. Mike Davis doesn't like it.
That's a little touch foul.
It's a nickel and dimer, they like to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And even more important, with 7 seconds to go, that's in the bonus.
Yes.
1-on-1 coming up for Justin Fritz.
That was a little questionable right there.
Davis is first, 7th on the Bulldogs, and a near 90% free throw shooter at the line for the Cardinals. You can almost say like Mount St. Helens erupted about a minute and a half ago in the number 22 in the Cardinal jersey.
Because Justin Fritz has scored their last 11 points.
Make that 12 now, all in the last minute and a half for Justin Fritz. Danny Wallach kept him in it early in the quarter with 2 threes. Brandon Fritz with a couple of baskets. Jeff Foreman with a pair of free throws, but the last 12 points, all by Justin Fritz. Final 4 seconds. Farmer gonna have to fire from 3 at the buzzer. Back iron, no, and we are at halftime from Garfield Heights. A furious comeback by the Cardinals here in the second quarter. Gets them back even, 38-38 at half. We were just saying 2 minutes ago, fly on the wall for Coach Krasancic. Let's flip it around.
Wow, this is going to be a fly on the wall with Sonny Johnson. Because you let it go, a 12, 13-point lead go in a matter of minutes.
Matter of seconds, more like it.
Yes.
Well, we're at halftime here on OhioSportsNet. We're going to hear from the Garfield players and coaches in just a minute, but we're going to step aside. We'll be back to Garfield after this.
I hit people, and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brexville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is committed to developing well-rounded student athletes.
To support our continued education, the OHSAA and its foundation award more than 50 scholarships annually, totaling over $50,000 to graduating student athletes.
In addition, the OhSAA Foundation hosts leadership conferences around the state where student athletes participate in sessions on group dynamics, role modeling, positive sporting conduct, and much more.
So don't sit on the sidelines. Get involved.
Mitch Trubisky. I'm a junior guard for Mentor Cardinals.
How big is the
watching
game coming up this week?
I'm Mike Davis, senior guard from Garfield High School. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Justin Fritz. I play for Mentor Basketball, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
This is Tony Farmer from Garfield High School, boys basketball. You're watching OhioSportsNet.
How big is the Mentor game coming up this week?
Man, it's real big. This for conference championship. Can't lose no more games in the conference. We lost to them once already, so it's a real big game.
What's going to be different this time around against Menor? What do you have to do to get a victory?
Just play together. We a whole different team now. That was early in the year, and it changed everything. We got everything together. Just focus. More focused now.
So when you say different, what exactly is different?
Our tenacity on defense. We just got that dog in us now, like to say.
You think Justin Fritz going to go for 44 again?
No.
What are you going to do to prevent him from getting his shots and getting his points?
I got him.
You got him?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to him to shut him down?
He ain't gonna make no shots. He make a couple.
If you could pick a key to victory, what's it going to be?
Play together. Just play together. Play smart on D.
Give me a prediction for the game.
We're gonna win.
It's very big. We got another rematch. They beat us once, we beat them once, so it's a big game. And it's senior night, so it's a big game.
That's the thing with the conference on the line, senior night. How do you guard against being overhyped?
We don't. We just play together, play our team ball, and we get a victory.
What's going to be different this time around against Menor that'll get you a victory?
Me checking Fritz.
Is he going to go for 44 again?
I doubt that. I really doubt that.
What's he going to go for?
About 20, 15, whatever. Whatever I'm going to get him.
What are you going to do to him?
Just lock him down. If that helps our defense, we're going to get a victory at the end of the paint.
If you could pick one key to victory, what would it be?
Defense. Last game, it was like a defense, like a help. They out hustle us. They got 50-50 balls. We just got to come out and play harder defense.
Give me a prediction for the game.
Win.
Tony, how big of a game is this? Garfield Menor 2.
It's a big one. You know, we lost there at their house, so it's gonna be a big one here.
What's going to be a difference this time around?
I think we gelling as a team. Our defense is crazy, getting crazier, and just things like that.
Justin Fritz going to go for 44 again?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. Our guard, Bird, and Kenny and Mike Davis, I really think they can do a good job of switching off of them and checking them.
Are you going to focus on him, or are you just going to play your game?
We just go play our game.
If you could pick one key to victory, what's it going to be?
Defense. And yeah, defense, that's all I can think.
Give a prediction for the game.
It's going to be a good one.
Coach, first of all, how big is this game against Menor coming up?
It's huge. It's the biggest game of the year. We are, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're 7-1. They'll be coming into the game 8-0. So it's for the conference championship. So it's going to be huge.
What can your boys take out of the last time you played them that they can improve on and maybe get a victory?
Just every possession, you got to play every possession. I think that's something they did. Got loose balls when the shot went up. They didn't run back on defense. They went and tried to get the rebound. So there's little things that they did that made them very successful. And I think this is our time. We'll be at home.
You think Justin Fritz is going to go for 44 again?
No, I don't think so. Not this time.
What are you going to do different to slow him down?
We just got to defend. I mean, you got to defend with effort. You got to not. He's a kid that's going to continue to work, even when he don't have the ball in his hand. So you got to understand who you're checking, and I think we'll be prepared.
If you could pick one key to victory, what would it be?
Playing hard every possession.
Give me a prediction for the game.
Prediction for the game: Menor 80, Garfield 90.
We're at halftime here from the Dog Pound in Garfield Heights. Kyle Goodwin alongside Keith Allen on the mics, and also Keith Allen on the cameras, doing double duty here tonight with Demetrius Hudson, William Cummings, technical director, and Jaquise Davis helping producing and doing some stats for us. All tied at 38. If you'd asked me that 5 minutes ago, if I'd have thought this game would have been tied at halftime, I would have said no. Not the way the game was going and flowing, but something, just a light switch just went off for the Cardinals, and wow, they went crazy, led by Justin Fritz. 12 points in a minute and a half, got him right back in the game.
Seemed like Garfield got blitzed by the Fritz brothers because his
That's
brother started it off first, and he's playing on the injured ankle. He got a steal, had a strong move to the hole, and then after that, Justin just went off.
But if you think about it, too, when Brandon came in, he immediately made an impact on the game because he fouled Tony Farmer, kind of got chest to chest with him, got him lit up with technicals, and it looked like it made Tony Farmer mad, but then about a minute or two later is when the game swayed.
It's like Menor weathered the storm.
They weathered it big time.
They weathered it big time because
I mean, they made the Orca and everything else,
Right.
We don't need a bigger boat.
Exactly, because you kind of knew Garfield was going to give them their best shot starting off.
Have you ever seen Point Break? Remember Bell's Beach, the wave at the end? They were in a canoe in the first quarter and
Right.
6 minutes. And they just paddled along. Before you know it, they were on the beach and they were having, at a tiki bar enjoying a nice steak because Justin Fritz just
went off.
To show what kind of a great player he is. He struggled with finding his shot, really.
Got frustrated.
Yeah, well, you could see a little bit of frustration, but he didn't panic.
And he used other assets of his game to get them back in the game.
And they found him. They found him a couple times off of inbound plays, wide open. Yes. And what a better way! They usually say get a layup or get a free throw to get back in the game.
He hit
a couple threes.
He got a couple of threes.
And you don't want a 28-point scorer if you're Garfield getting wide open
off
for threes.
Like that. Yes.
And then that sparked him. His defense then got him a couple steals.
Scored 12 points in a matter of 3 minutes.
Mitch Trubisky got a couple steals. Brandon Fritz got involved. Danny Wallach kept him in the game in the early going of the quarter with a couple of threes. And before you know it, Menor tied the game. Just when it looked like Garfield wanted to go on a run and put this a 20-point game.
Put this away.
In the second quarter, Menor said, I don't think so.
It's not going to happen. So in the second half, if you're Garfield, you kind of still keep doing what you're doing. You just got to keep track of Justin Fritz on defense.
But at the same time, if you're Garfield, how do you not act shell-shocked right now?
It's going to be kind of hard because you got to think Garfield, in a way, played the perfect half.
Minus 2 minutes.
Minus 2 minutes. They played the perfect half. They did all you could possibly ask them. Everybody got involved in the game. The big men made an impact. And then all of a sudden, bam, Menor just came back punching back.
That wasn't a punch. That was a haymaker. That was a kick while you were on the ground. That was even jump on you and elbow you like Randy Savage. That was the onslaught that the Cardinals put out in that final 2 minutes.
Yes.
Was insane.
Very.
I love it because it's a great game now. And even if this stayed a 13-point deficit, I would never count Menor out.
Right.
Because they proved their point right there. Okay, we were struggling. We weren't playing our game. You got to wonder how much Coach Grzancic maybe even still laid into him at halftime saying, hey, why were we in that situation?
Of course. But even though they was down by 9 or even 13, I never thought they was out of it.
I didn't think they were out of it, but just the way the momentum was going, if Garfield could have built on it, before you know it, if it stayed that way and Garfield built a little more, maybe 17, 18 at half, gets a couple baskets here to start the third up 20, then if you're Menor, what do you think of panic?
Yeah.
But no, Menor said, we're not even going to worry about it. We'll tie it before half.
And they did what they did what they had to do.
Yeah, let's go some over the first half scoring for Menor, led by Justin Fritz. All 12 points in the second quarter in the last minute and 45 seconds of the second quarter. He's the leading scorer for the Cardinals. 6 for Danny Wallach and a pair of threes, both in the second quarter. Connor Krzancic hit a pair of threes in the first quarter for 6 points. 5 points for Jeff Foreman, 4 for Brandon Fritz, 2 for Kyle Morris, and 2 for Caleb Potter for 38 points for the Cardinals. A pair of double-digit scorers for the Bulldogs is Tony Farmer leads all scorers with 14, 12 for Mike Davis to go along with 5 rebounds, 8 points and 5 rebounds for Kenny Simpson, 2 points and 4 rebounds and a big block shot by Jermaine Davis, and 2 points for Brett Thomas. Really nobody in significant foul trouble. 2 fouls for Brandon Fritz and 2 fouls for Terrell Bird.
Okay.
So you got and Bird got those really quick too. So we got to see if Sonny Johnson goes back with him.
Yeah. I think he'll start the second half off with him.
So really the foul trouble kind of spread out. A lot of players all have 1 foul, but those are the only 2 players with 2.
Right.
And a technical was called actually on Tony Farmer and Brandon Fritz. So keep an eye on that.
That might play large later on.
You got to hope they keep their heads and don't have to worry about it later on.
Right.
Maybe that was just a message sent by the Zebras saying, boys, play hard but play under control.
Because now there's like a 12-round fight now.
That was in the first round of maybe somebody got a thumb in the eye kind of thing,
Got their feelings hurt or something.
Menor's going to start with our starting 5. Danny Wallach, Jeff Foreman, Mitch Trubisky, Connor Krzancic, and Justin Fritz. We'll be moving from left to right in their cardinal red uniforms with white and gray trim. The Bulldogs in their home white with Bird, Farmer, Simpson, Mike Davis, and Brett Thomas. And Brett Thomas is shadowing Justin Fritz to start the second half.
We're going to see how Garfield Heights responds to that flurry by Menor.
Fritz looking for a little lane right side. He's got the baseline. A nice strong move, but he could not finish. Drew some contact, no call. And Farmer with the rebound. That's interesting. He's a lefty, took it to the right, and he had some space, freed it up.
Space just went in and out.
Couldn't finish on the runner. Nice high-low move down low, and Farmer with the finish. Good feed by Bird.
Tony Farmer's getting it too easy down there.
Farmer, the leading scorer in the game, with 16 points now. Trubisky takes it at Farmer. Got him up in the air, and the finish by Mitch Trubisky.
Uh-oh, the quarterback.
First points of the game for the junior. Bird down to the baseline, finds Mike Davis. Corner three, off the iron, no. Justin Fritz pulls away the rebound. Tied at 40, opening minute, third quarter. Foreman trying to work on Mike Davis, has to back it out. Finds Wallach on a cut into the corner to Krasancic.
One thing Garfield Heights, I think, has to do in the second half.
They're going to have to keep an eye on cutters like that.
Yes.
Trubisky gets another easy look.
And guard against the threes.
Krasancic with a near steal. Thomas up to Bird. He'll get into the front court. Bird finds Simpson in the corner. He goes baseline. A nice move by Kenny Simpson from underneath the basket with the left hand.
Kenny Simpson's had a good game tonight.
10 points now for Simpson. 3 players in double figures for the Bulldogs. Tied again. Fritz pulls up for a three. He got knocked down, no call. Simpson with a rebound. Deflected, comes into the hands of Farmer. (42-42).
Garfield Heights is winning the rebounding battle. There's been one shot and out for Menor if they've missed.
Down onto the block, Trubisky. Little runner in the lane by Farmer, can't finish. Trubisky pulls away the rebound.
He missed the shot, but you know what? It was a good shot because he's taking it inside.
Wallach with a three, no. Farmer clears away the rebound for the Bulldogs, who stay tied at 42. Bird falling out of bounds, gets the timeout.
Good awareness by Terrell Bird. Very good awareness. To prevent a turnover, keep possession of the ball, because every possession is going to count in the second half.
Yeah, it seems like both teams, this is almost like the heavyweight fight again. Now they're feeling each other out.
Right.
It's kind of like Garfield. Maybe they're trying to understand what happened. Menor, they haven't been able to pick up from where they left off in the second quarter.
Exactly, and you see Garfield has slowed the tempo down a little bit, son. Where in the first half, they was just going right at Menor. Second half, they kind of slowed it up some.
And you got to wonder what was said or what clicked for the Cardinals in those final few minutes. Because that is the Menor Cardinals right there. Those 2 minutes, that's what they've been doing all season. They just had a tough time getting into that tempo the first 14 minutes of the game.
That team in the first 14 minutes, I don't know who they were.
Brandon Fritz checks into the game along with Caleb Potter for the Cardinals. Sealed by Danny Wallach, comes into the hands of Justin Fritz. All the way to the hole, up, in, and one! A great play by Wallach to get his hands on it, and Justin Fritz, you're not going to stop him when he takes it to the basket.
He went in strong and got the and-one.
14 points for Fritz. And he gives Menor, that's their first lead of the game.
First lead of the game.
44-42 with 5:15 to go, now 45.
Now we got to see how Garfield Heights responds now.
Full court pressure. Near trap in the backcourt. Bird finally gets it over to Mike Davis.
Because Menor now is slowly starting to dictate the game.
Great look by Farmer, finds Brett Thomas on a backdoor cut for a layup.
Brett Thomas started off the third quarter this time, where he didn't start.
He started and he's been guarding Fritz, that's why. Nice look on the backside, finds Krasancic. He goes in amongst the trees, gets knocked down, and Connor Krasancic going to get a pair of free throws. A great look by Justin Fritz. He's doing it all
definitely,
now.
yes he is. And Krasancic went up strong. Took a hit, but got him 2 shots at the foul line.
75% free throw shooter on the year is the sophomore. Coach's son, Connor Krasancic. That foul was on Mike Davis. That's his second. That's a different chant because everybody knows the answer.
Right.
The dog pound was trying to heckle Krasancic, who's your daddy, but look right there on the sideline.
Daddy right there on the sideline.
Yep. First free throw good by Krasancic. Second one off the front iron. Farmer pulls away the rebound.
Farmer's been playing like a man possessed tonight.
7 points now in the game for Connor Krasancic. Farmer fakes, knifes down the lane, up and under, no. Backside battle for the rebound. Brett Thomas saves it, but Brandon Fritz comes away with a loose ball.
Thought he had one there.
Little screen roll with the Fritz brothers. Brandon muscles his way, fires it up, but he's going to go to the line. A savvy play by the sophomore.
I'm going to say this. When Brandon Fritz got in the game, it seemed like he changed the fortunes for Menor.
He brings a different energy.
Yes.
It did seem kind of the Cardinals were a little stagnant. They weren't on all cylinders. We saw a lot of sloppy passes, turnovers.
And he's really played big tonight.
First free throw up and good for Brandon Fritz. Now 5 points in the game.
6'4" sophomore.
Fritz on the year, a 58% free throw shooter, but hits both.
Wholesale substitutions in.
Kyle Morris, Mitch Trubisky, Caleb Potter, Justin Fritz, and Danny Wallach all on the floor for the Cardinals. Marquise Jackson checks into the game, along with Al Burge for the Bulldogs. They join Thomas, Simpson, and Farmer. Simpson, a little fumble there, and another fumble by Jackson. The Bulldogs now looking a little sloppy with the ball.
Jackson's got to get him something coming off the bench, as he averages 9 a game.
Finally the ball into the corner to Simpson. Gets it down low to Farmer, and he just runs over the defender. Kyle Morris took one for the team there, and a charge on Tony Farmer.
How many fouls is that on Tony? The second?
Yeah, the technical was his first one. That one right there, he wanted to muscle it up, but when you lower your shoulder like that, it makes it a little easy for the official. Good defense by Kyle Morris. 4-point lead now for Menor. 3:40 to go, third quarter. Little jab step, and Justin Fritz all the way to the hole, lays it in.
It's like you got to pick your poison with Justin. Either you're going to let him shoot threes, or you're going to let him drive to the hole. Bad pass.
And Mitch Trubisky steals that poor pass in the backcourt and lays it up and in.
The quarterback.
He looked like a cornerback there, not a QB1.
Right.
6 points all in the quarter, another steal. Trubisky to the hole, up and in. 8 points in the quarter for Trubisky, now a 10-point Cardinal lead, and they are fired up.
Fans are fired up. The Menor fans are fired up tonight. Giving them a standing O right now.
It's just, wow, it's just a work of art to watch it where the Cardinals turn it on. It's almost kind of like, not that they were just relaxing and going through the motions, but things weren't working their way in the first half, but now, even in the first minute or so
here, they stayed the course, weathered the storm, and now they're taking over.
And when they get going on all cylinders,
they're kind of tough to stop.
It's scary.
Yes.
I'd almost want to see them play against like Arkansas from back in the 90s, the 40 minutes of hell with
40 minutes of hell with Nolan Richardson, where they just keep coming at you regardless of what happens.
Yeah, two teams like that, it would almost probably be a 2-0 game because they would just be stealing the ball from each other all day.
Exactly. Garfield Heights has to stay away from the careless turnovers. They've been careless with the ball for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, their passes have been really, really lackadaisical.
And you can't do that against this team.
Menor's been taking advantage. Bird, Wright, Farmer, Simpson, and Burge on the floor for the Bulldogs here. Full court pressure. Wallach and Morris in the backcourt with Trubisky, Foreman, and Justin Fritz.
Garfield Heights.
Burge, another dangerous pass. Finally, Bird finds Simpson in the front court. And that took about 20 seconds before the Bulldogs finally can get into a set now.
Yes.
2:50 to go, third quarter, and a 10-point Menor lead. Only 6 points in the quarter.
Garfield Heights has to toughen this out.
And Tony Farmer trying to take it on his shoulders. There's a really, really strong move to the hole with the left hand.
Strong move by Tony Farmer. 6'7" junior.
Looked like a point guard on that play.
Exactly.
Jeff Foreman. He gets down, draws the contact, off the window. In the NBA, maybe that's a good one. The officials don't give him the continuation. Give him credit for throwing it up and in.
Yes.
Took the bump, but the official's going to say on the floor.
Oh,
but
man,
what's
on
even
the
more
floor,
interesting,
too?
though, 2:22 to go here in the third. 0 team fouls for Menor. Yep. That's now 5 for
Garfield Heights. 2 more, and they'll start shooting.
Third quarter, all Cardinals. Comes out to Justin Fritz, looking for a screen from Brandon. He's going to pull up from 3. Justin Fritz spins out. Connor Krasancic with a putback, but we got a whistle and a foul on the rebound on Brandon Fritz, and he looks at the referees with a confused look on his face.
Like, what in the world?
Wow. That one went halfway down for Justin Fritz. Put it on the spin cycle back out. Yes. Connor Krasancic got the rebound and put back, but a foul on the rebound denied that basket.
Now let's see if Garfield Heights can capitalize and get themselves back in this game.
Final 2 minutes, third quarter. Somebody we really haven't seen in a while is Mike Davis, who's on the bench right now. Farmer waves everybody off. He's going to go all the way in. Throw it off the glass and in.
Farmer's
6 points in the quarter now for Farmer, 20 in the game.
Farmer is doing it by himself.
Minute and a half to go in the third. Justin Fritz loses a dribble, tries to save it. It's out of bounds. Terrell Bird. Good defense on that play by the senior for the Bulldogs.
Very good D. Time for Garfield to try to capitalize.
Final minute 20 to go, third quarter. Farmer spins into a double team, throws it off the rim and no. Kyle Morris with good defense. Trubisky came over with the help, and they're actually going to call the foul on Morris.
Thing I like about them with Tony Farmer all night tonight has been inside, basically. Everything has been inside, no jumpers.
That's the first on Morris, second on the Cardinals now, 1:15 to go here in the third quarter. Yeah, after Menor took advantage and got into the double digits, Tony Farmer has basically said, Bulldogs, follow me.
Right. Follow me, I'm taking everything inside.
And he's been doing it from the perimeter.
Yes.
Two free throws, good. 8 in the quarter for Farmer, 22 in the game to lead all scorers. Deficit back to 4. Wallach gets double team, finds Trubisky. Kicks it over right side, wide open 3. Krasancic off the iron, no. Farmer rips away the rebound for Garfield Heights. Justin Fritz gets in. A lot of leather there, but the official said no, got him on the arm.
Seems like now the momentum is starting to sway Garfield Heights' way right now. Terrell Bird bringing it up.
Final minute, third quarter. Garfield down 4. And it looks like they almost maybe want to hold for a final shot.
For a final shot.
They've kind of weathered the storm here in the third quarter. They fell behind 10, right back within 4.
And they're right back within 4. And you remember what I said about the score? If it's anywhere in the 50s and 60s, it might be good for Garfield Heights.
But you got to remember how fast
Menor can score.
Menor can score faster than a lightning bolt.
Exactly.
Farmer going to check all the way out. Kyle Morris with tight defense follows him all the way out to midcourt. Great defense by Kyle Morris denying Farmer. Farmer with a little push off, got away with it. With 6 seconds now, and then Morris with a reach in. That's a tough call, and Morris has a little chat with the referee.
Farmer
got away with a little forearm shiver there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really hurt the Cardinals. They have fouls to give, and with 5 seconds left, that's not a shooting foul. Marquise Jackson will check in.
Bringing in the sharpshooter.
As Burge will have a seat.
Range.
5 seconds to go. That was a second foul on Morris, 4th on the Cardinals. Ball inbound on the sideline by Simpson. Gets it into Farmer with 4 seconds. Morris, strong defense. Little scoop shot. Farmer cannot finish. And after 3 quarters of play, 54-50, the Mentor Cardinals lead. We're going to be back to Garfield Heights after this.
I hit people and I get hit. It's part of my game. But when I saw a local high school player become paralyzed making a tackle, the game changed for me. I saw the bigger picture and knew that I could make a difference. With the help of my family, friends, and other running backs, I started Rush for a Cause, a foundation to support severely injured athletes and to promote injury prevention.
Join us at our Family Football Blitz fundraiser on Brecksville High School grounds with dozens of inflatable games, entertainment, and more family fun.
Mitch Trubisky. I'm a junior guard for the Mentor Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I'm Mike Davis, senior guard from Garfield High School, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
Hi, I'm Danny Walk. I'm a senior. I'm a guard for the Cardinals, and you're watching OhioSportsNet.
I am Drew Bird, senior starting guard of Garfield Heights, and you are watching OhioSportsNet.
Three quarters in the books here on OhioSportsNet. Kyle Goodwin and Keith Allen. Alongside William Cummings, Demetrius Hudson, and Jaquise Davis here for OhioSportsNet. Great game we got here. Northeast Ohio Conference Valley Division, the championship on the line here tonight. If the Cardinals win, they will be undefeated and lock up the Valley Division in the Northeast Ohio Conference. Garfield, if they can pull it out, they'll be tied with Mentor. Be right there in the driver's seat with 1 game to go.
Some reason I got a feeling they might see each other for a 3rd time.
Bird, Mike Davis, Tony Farmer, Brett Thomas, and Simpson on the floor for the Bulldogs. Farmer gets down, pulls up his dribble, gets it to Thomas, and a nice little scoop shot by Brett Thomas.
Good move by Brett Thomas. Good strong move to the hole. This is like the 12th round right here.
6 points now in the game for Thomas. 2-point Mentor lead. Brzezinski gets it down, Brandon Fritz, pump fake. Farmer comes over, but Brandon Fritz with a great finish.
Good strong move by Brandon Fritz.
8 points now in the game for the sophomore. Kenny Simpson will pull it back out. Thomas fakes, takes it right of the lane, throws it off the glass. No, Justin Fritz with a great rebound for the Cardinals. Boxed out everybody on that one.
Yes,
Not
he did.
let anybody have that one. Justin Fritz with Brandon Fritz, Mitch Trubisky, Connor Krasancic, and Danny Wallach on the floor for the Cardinals. Bird with a nice show, forced Wallach wide. And we got a whistle and a timeout by Coach Krasancic with 6:40 to go, 4th quarter. We'll keep it here.
Yes.
So Keith, at 6:40 to go, we saw it's been coming in spurts. Both teams really kind of had the run back and forth.
Back and forth.
It is like a heavyweight fight.
Yes.
Nobody's really hit the canvas yet.
No.
You know, the Cardinals are on the ropes in the second quarter.
They were
boy, did they
staggering.
come out swinging
They
like
came out
Rocky.
swinging. So now we're going to see really what both teams got going down the stretch. Garfield continue to take it inside. Mentor continue to try to push the tempo and let Justin Fritz loose. And both stars are playing marquee ball right now. Tony Farmer leading his team in scoring, and Justin Fritz leading his team in scoring.
Justin Fritz had 5 in the 3rd quarter for 17 to lead the Cardinals. 22 for Tony Farmer to lead all scorers. Baseline inbound comes to Trubisky up top. Quick rise for the 3 by Fritz off the front iron. No, Simpson looking to push. And he'll pull it back out and reset the offense.
One thing I've noticed in the second half, Mentor has done a better job getting back on defense.
Mike Davis got one up on the rim. It would not fall. Cardinal faithful won an offensive goaltend, but it fell off, and a rebound comes away to Mentor.
They've done a better job in the second half getting back on defense against Garfield Heights.
Trubisky going to rise up from 3 from the corner. In and out, no good. So the 3rd one we see from Mentor go by halfway down. 6 minutes now, fourth quarter. Well, let's say 6 minutes left in regulation.
Yes.
We could have bonus
Overtime.
ball, the rate this is going. Farmer with Trubisky on him. He's going to line up a three. Front iron, no. Wallach snatches that rebound.
Not the best shot selection right there. Especially since he's been having his way driving to the hole all night.
Justin Fritz to Brandon Fritz, muscles it up. Farmer got a piece of it and denied that shot. Bird with a rebound. Bird streaking down the lane, kicks it, corner. Simpson, three, got it!
Simpson has played well.
We got a timeout with 5:20 to go, fourth quarter. Third three of the game for Kenny Simpson.
Got
a great
13
push
points
and look
tonight.
by Bird.
Kenny Simpson has kept them together also. He's played a real good game tonight.
Been stretching the defense with his
Yes,
outside shooting.
Outside shooting.
Simpson averages 7 points and 3 assists. He's also a 48% three-point shooter.
Lefty on top of it, too.
That's a high percentage.
Exactly. Crowd is amped up. Fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah. And this is a great atmosphere for a game. This is one of the best gyms you'll find in Northeast Ohio.
Very nice.
The Dog Pound is rocking. The Menor
Definitely.
Student Faithful is rocking.
It's a battle of wills tonight.
It kind of looks like the Menor parents. They're waiting for the final few minutes.
Right.
They're saving themselves. They got up in the final few minutes of the first half.
Yes. Yes, they did. This game has been a game of runs, and Garfield
Attrition.
done made their runs. Now let's see what Mentor has to do now.
Caleb Potter into the game. He's going to muscle one. Knife down the lane, off the rim, no. Tony Farmer rips away the rebound, and he's going to push. Farmer, coast to coast, lay it up and in with the left hand. 1 point Bulldog lead, 24 for Tony Farmer.
He's playing like a man possessed tonight, Kyle.
No lead is safe here tonight for either team.
Sure isn't.
Both teams have shared double-digit leads. Wallach shot from the baseline off the rim, no. Brett Thomas rips away the rebound. 4:40 to go, fourth quarter. 1 point Garfield lead. Davis gets the baseline, off the glass and in for Mike Davis. His first points of the second half, now 14 in the game for the senior, and back to a 3-point Garfield lead.
Two strong drives to the hole.
Justin Fritz gets into the lane, and Mike Davis got a hand on it. Loose ball. Farmer sliding on the floor, gets the timeout. The Cardinal Faithful wanted a turnover, and Sonny Johnson, he almost looks upset by the timeout. (59-56). Garfield leads, and it was great hustle all around.
Yes.
Fritz took it down to the hole, to the basket. Mike Davis got a hand on the ball.
Yes.
Loose ball, and when you see your 6'7" power forward diving on the floor for it, you might cringe, but you got to love the effort.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Tonight, Tony Farmer has been everywhere. He's been everywhere. He's been driving to the hole, going inside, and he's been a load for Menor to handle tonight.
10 points in the second half for Farmer, 24 to lead all scorers.
And it comes to what I was saying, tempo and the score pace right now is kind of in that 50-60 range, which favors Garfield right about now. Now you go past 60 and get in the 70s, and start putting the thing up for Menor.
That's when you get speeding tickets too, don't
Right,
you?
exactly. That lets you know that Menor's probably would be in front in the 70 pace.
And you know there's another blitz attack coming from the Cardinals.
Yes, yes. Final 4:14 of the game.
3-point Garfield lead, the inbound on the baseline, into Farmer.
What Garfield can't do is have any careless turnovers.
Thomas gets it over the timeline to Simpson. Back up top to Farmer. Mike Davis is wide open under the basket. They couldn't find him. Now a little weave being run by Garfield, working a little clock here, inside 4 minutes. Davis gets inside, gets cut down and tripped, and Mike Davis going to draw a foul.
One thing in the last few Garfield Heights possessions is they've drove to the hoop. They've abandoned the jumpers and start driving to the hole.
Attacking the basket is what they've been doing.
Where either they're going to score or get fouled.
15 foul on the Cardinals. Both teams with 5 fouls with 3:53 to go.
Mike Davis has 15 now. And the Garfield Heights Bulldogs are up by 4. 3:53 remaining.
Davis now a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. 4 points here in the fourth quarter and back to a 5-point Garfield lead.
Uh-oh, it's Fritz time.
Terrell Bird all over him. Skip pass finds Potter. Back up top, Justin Fritz. Nice move, and Fritz is free down the lane.
Good
block both ways by Thomas and Mike Davis, and out of bounds to the Cardinals.
Gotta give Garfield Heights credit on that one. Good block.
First, a great jab step by Fritz to get free.
Yes.
Wow. Mike Davis and Brett Thomas, that was a Malachi crunch of blocks.
Yes, it was.
Great everything all around. Inbound comes into Fritz. Slips away from Bird, off to Trubisky.
Bird made him pick up his dribble.
Trubisky gets a step, throws it up on the rim, no, but he drew the contact, and Mr. Trubisky going to go to the line for a pair of free throws.
Trubisky has quietly had a good game tonight. It's been more of a balanced effort for Menor tonight.
Trubisky with 8 points in the game, all in the third quarter.
He got him out to that 10-point lead. Trubisky makes the first one. It's now 61-57. Trubisky with 9 in the game.
Trubisky an 80% free throw shooter on the year. Gets them both. Now 10 points, and he's the second Cardinal to be in double digits. Potter will have a seat as Morris checks back in.
And Menor is back in the press mode.
3:25 to go, back to a 3-point lead for Garfield.
No lead is safe in this game.
Thomas and Simpson working in the backcourt to Bird, who skips it up to Davis. Davis, a nice little step around Trubisky for the finish. They call that a European step, don't they? Wallach picks up his dribble, finds Trubisky. 3 minutes now to go, fourth quarter. We got a whistle and a foul. Terrell Bird.
Oh.
A little bit too tight a coverage following Justin Fritz around.
But you see Fritz was getting open also going down the lane. So in a way that's, well, they're about to shoot free throws now, so. And Menor can get back in it with the clock stop.
Yeah, what's important now, 3:02 to go. 5-point Garfield lead, but they are over the limit. So,
yes, so Menor
1-1 for the Cardinals the rest of the game. Until they get that 10th foul. So free throws, and they've been good for the Cardinals so far. As Fritz is a perfect 4 for 4, and now 5 for 5 for 19 points in the game for Justin Fritz. Back to a 3-point game. Foreman out, Krasancic back in.
Whoever wins this game is going to have to earn it tonight because nobody's giving nobody nothing tonight.
Thomas
Somebody
forced wide, gets it to Simpson, and he finally beats the press to Bird. Bird, Simpson, and Thomas have been doing a good job beating that press.
Yes.
Gotta wonder if the Bulldogs want to take a little air out of the ball now. Trubisky with a near steal, a good hustle play, but he ran right into Kenny Simpson. He was about a split second short.
Yeah.
I saw that one developing, and I'm like, oh, he's making a break on it. Can he get there?
One more foul for Menor, and then Garfield Heights will be shooting free throws. That's their 16 foul and a half.
16 foul. That's the second on Trubisky.
Well, nobody's in foul trouble tonight.
Not yet. We got 3 for Bird. That's about the highest anybody's got. Off the inbound, Thomas finds Farmer for the flush.
Good pass.
26 now for Tony Farmer. Back to a 5-point lead for Garfield. 2:22 to go. Fritz up top to Wallach. Trubisky finds Fritz posting up. Skip pass to Wallach. Wallach will back up, fire a three, front iron no. Bird finds the loose ball and going to look to push.
Oh.
Bird takes it all the way down, skips it, corner, Simpson, three ball, got it! 4th three of the game for Simpson, second of the quarter, 16 in the game now. Krasancic answers back with a three.
Krasancic said, everybody don't try to go home yet. This is not over.
1:44 to go, timeout. Menor, 68-63. That was a big dagger three by Simpson, but a great answer by Krasancic.
Yes, it was.
That's the thing, didn't he look like Menor panicked? Fall behind 8 with inside 2 minutes to go.
Right.
Crowds into it, come right back down and hit that big shot.
That three. Now what Menor is probably going to try to do is probably going to try to go for the steal, quick steal, and probably try to extend the game. And
when do you start playing the foul game if you're Menor?
I would say right now start making them hit them free throws. Because the longer the game goes, Menor can multiply more, get more points quicker.
Force Garfield to hit their free throws?
Yes. But they're going to probably go for the steal first. They can't get the quick steal.
Trubisky, Wallach, Justin Fritz, Connor Krasancic, Kyle Morris on the floor for the Cardinals. Terrell Bird, Kenny Simpson, Brett Thomas, Mike Davis, Tony Farmer on the floor for the Bulldogs.
Got 1:44 left.
If you're going to foul anybody, you almost might want to foul Farmer, 69% free throw shooter, but he's hit all his free throws tonight.
Farmer has played a well of a game tonight.
Bulldogs beat the press, spin move, Davis to the hole, up and in! Woo! Morris tried to draw the charge, no call. Minute and a half to go, 7-point Garfield lead.
Davis has played huge in this fourth quarter.
Crossover stolen by Bird. Fritz grabbed his ankle. And a foul going to be called. Garfield wants an intentional foul. The Zebras are going to talk about it. 1:20 to go, clock stopped. And it is an intentional foul called. It's a tough call if you're Menor.
Yes. So that's 2 shots in possession. Main thing right now, they got to make these 2 free throws.
So Kenny Simpson actually tried to step up to the line to take those free throws. An 81% free throw shooter. Said Bird, a 71%er,
free throw shooter,
is going to have to take them.
Yeah.
7th team foul on the Cardinals, second on Fritz, but the intentional portion is the one that hurt him.
Yes.
2 shots and the ball. Bird sinks the first.
Garfield Heights up by 8 now, 71-63. 1:20
That's his first points of the game for Terrell Bird. 1:20 to go, fourth quarter. Misses the second.
Terrell Bird hasn't scored much, but he has played good defense. He's done other facets of his game to keep them on top.
Especially in the second half.
Yes, definitely. He was in foul trouble in the first half, but in the second half, even though he hasn't scored, his impact has been huge on the defensive side of the floor.
1:20 to go, now an 8-point lead for the Bulldogs. Comes into Bird, up to Simpson. See when the Cardinals foul. Foreman reached in, no call. Loose ball, Brandon Fritz gets a steal. 1:08 to go. Trubisky
still has time.
Looks for a three, in and out.
In and out.
Halfway down again. That is not a friendly basket for Menor. And a foul going to be given by Brandon Fritz with 56 seconds to go. It's going to be the 4th on Brandon Fritz, 8th on the Cardinals.
And Garfield Heights is going to the line.
Fritz will have a seat as Potter checks back in.
With the leading scorer of the game, Tony Farmer at the line.
Farmer is a perfect 6 for 6 from the line in the game.
He really brought his A game tonight, Kyle.
But he misses the first free throw on the 1-on-1. Trubisky with the rebound to Justin Fritz. Trying to free himself from Bird. Gets a screen. Kicks it over. Trubisky. Pump fake. Fires a three. Got it! Woo. Timeout Menor. 43 seconds to go.
You got to put the stake in the heart of the vampire. If not, he might come back to bite you.
That's a big three.
Yes,
you still got less than a minute to go. 5 points, and Garfield just proved, you got to
make those free throws. If you don't put the stake in the vampire's heart, he's gonna come back to bite you. They're down by 5. They're gonna probably go for a quick steal and then foul. Make them beat them from the foul line.
Did I do the broadcaster's jinx of all time, saying Farmer was perfect on the line?
Yes. Hey, it happens.
Farmer is a 69% free throw shooter. Was a perfect 6 for 6 with 26 points in the game to lead all scorers before he missed that front end.
It's a whole different time in the fourth quarter when the pressure is on.
And Trubisky came down and buried his first 3 of the game. He's got 5 points in the quarter, 13 in the game for the junior.
He stepped up big tonight.
Menor not guarding the inbound, picking up full court pressure. Comes in, Trubisky, a near steal. Farmer has it, and Trubisky will give up a foul. Stops the clock with 40 seconds to go. Farmer going to go back to the line for a 1-and-1. That's only the 9th team foul on Menor.
He's got to make them free throws.
Trubisky's 3rd foul.
Still a 2-possession game right now.
As good as Farmer's played, you got to think he just missed a free throw. That's a good foul.
Yes. 69% free throw shooter.
And he misses a second.
It again.
Davis battling for the rebound, poked
Davis
around.
got the
Mike
ball
Davis
back.
has got it. Cardinals looking like they're trying to foul, not getting the call. Davis getting bumped every which way, and finally the foul called with 27 seconds to go. See, I think it's a smart play by Menor to foul Farmer because he's been on the court a lot. He might be getting tired.
He's tired.
He front ironed the 1-and-1 both times there.
Yes, now you got Mike Davis at the line, 74% free throw shooter.
Davis 3 for 3 from the line of the game. He'll shoot 2 as it's a 10th team foul, but he front irons it. So the Bulldogs aren't doing themselves any favors here.
Sure isn't.
If you're a Menor fan with 27 seconds left, you're like, that's plenty of time to make up 5 points.
Yes. Gotta put him away.
Davis' 2nd free throw. He's got it. 6-point game, 27 seconds to go. Justin Fritz gets a big pick as Bird gets laid to the deck. And we got a whistle and a blocking foul. Wow, did Kyle Morris just put up a brick wall that Terrell Bird ran into to free up Fritz there. And he gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
That's his 4th teammate.
4th team foul, or 4th personal foul, Mike Davis. 8th team foul on Garfield. Clock stopped at 22 seconds ago.
And they're getting points while the clock is stopped.
Yeah, that right there, you can't fault Davis for trying to take a charge, but stopping the clock is exactly what Menor needs to do now.
You need all.
And this is the man you need at the line, too.
Right.
Fritz 4 for 4 from the line in the quarter, 7 for 7 from the line in the game. 21 points for Justin Fritz, 4-point game. Long pass comes down. Simpson's back in the backcourt, and he's free. And Wallach's going to have to give a foul with 19 seconds left.
Now the key is they got to make the free throws. And it's 2 free throws from now on for Menor. For Garfield Heights.
Simpson an 81% free throw shooter. First time stepping on the line in the game. 16 points in the game for the senior.
He's played big tonight.
In, out, and back in. A guardian angel at Kenny Simpson's tipped that one back in for him.
Say, get back in there. He'll probably hit this one easier.
5-point game, 19 seconds ago.
Because usually the first
nothing
one
but net
the
for
hardest
Simpson
to
on
get.
that one.
Menor down by 6.
Justin Fritz finds Connor Krasancic. Off the rim, no. 2 Bulldogs run into each other and knock it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the baseline for the Cardinals. 10 seconds to go. Got to get a quick shot here. Into Trubisky. Finds Krasancic. Looking for Fritz. Lock and load a three off the iron. No. Trubisky, offensive rebound, finds Krasancic straight away. Off the iron. No. Garfield Heights. They're going to pull out a 74-68 victory here. They end the Mentor Cardinals winning streak, give them their first loss in the Northeast Ohio Conference Valley Division. And now the conference is up for grabs.
Yes, it is.
As the Bulldogs on senior night get revenge on their home court.
I got a feeling, though, these two might see each other again.
Last year in the regionals, Garfield with the win. Earlier this year, Mentor with the win in their home court. Now Garfield with a home win.
Garfield gets revenge.
But down the stretch, what do you think the difference was?
Garfield Heights took it to the hole. They took it to the basket. They didn't settle for jump shots. You see Mike Davis made about 3 strong moves in the fourth quarter. Tony Farmer kept doing it basically the whole game. They took it to the hole. And they kind of slowed the game up a little bit in the second half. And Mentor, they made a valiant effort for coming back. But it was too much Tony Farmer tonight.
Yeah, Tony Farmer led all scorers with 26 points. 6 rebounds and 4 assists.
Tony
Throwing in
Farmer
a block
was the
shot.
man. Yes.
We'll give him credit for 2 block shots. How about
Yes.
that? Phil in the stat line. Kenny Simpson, 18 points for the Bulldogs, 19 points for Mike Davis to lead the scoring for the Bulldogs. Connor Krasancic had 10 with 3 3-pointers for Mentor. Mitch Trubisky, 13 points. 21 for Justin Fritz. 8 for Brandon Fritz. But not enough as it's 74-68. If you were to pick a JJHuddle.com player of the game, Keith, who would you go with?
I have to go with Tony Farmer.
Tony Farmer did put the Bulldogs on his back, especially in the second half.
Yes.
12 of his 26 points. Really the third quarter is when he did it. 8 points in that quarter, and he was almost playing point guard there at times.
He was doing it early and often. Like I said, the big guys had to be in the game for Garfield Heights, and Tony Farmer did his thing tonight.
So Tony Farmer is our JJHuddle.com player of the game. You want to talk sports? You want to discuss tonight's game? You want to talk about the season, the upcoming schedule, the playoffs, the brackets, state championships? Everything, do it all at JJHuddle.com, the destination for Ohio's only online sports community. JJHuddle.com features scores, stats, statistics of anything you want, of teams and players, along with recruiting updates and, of course, the world-famous JJ Forum. So go to JJHuddle.com tonight and get into the game. Keith, final thoughts here tonight. If you're Mentor, what do you take out of this? Your first loss against an Ohio team this year and first loss in the Northeast Ohio Conference.
Well, you take it from this might be the best thing to happen to him. Since it was better to lose now than lose in 2 weeks. So you just keep doing what you're doing. Get ready for their last game of the season. Try to get through it injury-free. Try to get Brandon Fritz healthy. And give it a go once you get tournament time.
If you're Garfield, what can you take out of this game?
Garfield, this was their lightning rod right here. This might spur them on for the rest of the season. And especially if they see Mentor again later on into the state tournament, they'll have that, well, we beat them last time. And they know they used their height advantage more so this time than they did the last time when they was in Mentor, because Tony Farmer wasn't even a factor either. Even Davis was a factor in the first half.
But we also mentioned probably the word of the night was tempo.
Yes. And Garfield Heights went at them in the first half, but then in the second half they kind of slowed it up and took their fast breaks on opportunity. And opportunity arrived for them.
If you think about it, the final minute 45 of the second quarter and about a 2-minute stretch of the third quarter, that was Mentor.
Yes.
Really, that was only about 4 minutes of the game, though.
Right. And Garfield Heights basically did everything right except for that 4-minute stretch. They did everything right. Everything went just as Sonny Johnson probably scripted it for them.
Mentor stormed back from a double-digit deficit to tie it at halftime. Took a 10-point lead third quarter. Garfield came back and then pulled it away in the fourth quarter. Again, our JJHuddle.com player of the game, Tony Farmer. Thanks again to Jaquise Davis, producer, statistician. Demetrius Hudson on the cameras. William Cummings, our technical director. Keith Allen pulling double duty tonight. Color commentator and cameraman.
Definitely.
I'm Kyle Goodwin saying final score again here tonight. 74-68. Garfield Heights puts the first loss for the Mentor Cardinals in the Northeast Ohio Conference. Have a good night from Ohio Sportsnet.